All right, hey everyone, it's the founder of Developers Academy, and welcome to our fourth Code Hangout. In this Code Hangout, I want to share with you one very important concept in UIView, and I think that many developers, whether just start out or some very advanced developers, usually mess up with this one, and I personally too. And that is frame and bounce in UIView. If you're familiar with some animation code in UIView and iOS, you know about frame and bounce. We use that all the time, but not everyone gets that down. Not everyone understands that fully. So in this video, in this code hangout, let's get that down. Let's figure out what is the frame and bounce of a UIView. Okay, I prepared a slideshow, some keynotes for you. So let me share the screen right here. And again, we are doing this live on Google Hangout on air. So if you want to join me, and so click the button right down below so you can download the starter project and we can get started. Okay, when you click the button right down below, it will take you to our blog, and that in there you can also join our live code hangout and also download the starter project and subscribe to get more code hangout, to join code hangout. Okay, and here is our slides. Again, go right down the link right down below and download the start project before we start. Okay, so I hope that you download the start project because I'm about to start now. All right, now the topic we're going to talk about today is frame and bounce. Okay, and frame and bounce in iOS is so important, especially when you are dealing with things like iOS animation in iOS, and especially for you guys who would love to write UI code in code. Okay, you don't do storyboard, but you do in code, and you must understand frame and bounce. Okay, before we doing any further about frame and bounce, I want to tell you about the coordinate system in iOS. That is different from the Cartesian coordinate system. Just okay, with the normal coordinate system that you use in math. Okay, that the origin in iOS is the upper left corner. That is the origin you see up there. Okay, let's say we have a point. Okay, the blue point 9, 40, 34, and 53. Okay, that point is over there because the X is on the top and the Y is on the left, and the origin is on the upper left. Okay, keep that in mind because it is so important. Okay, it is not like the coordinate system in math. All right, and there are some data structures we will need to deal with when we talk about the frame and bounce and the coordinate system in a UI view in iOS. And that is, the first one is a CG float. Okay, from now on, whenever you want to use any points in coordinate system of a UI view, use CG float. Don't use a float, don't use a double, use CG float. Okay, and by default, Xcode and iOS we use CG float. And again, don't use double or float. Okay. So the second one is a CG point. A CG point, simply, it is a struct, and a CG point is like a point in the coordinate system. It has a struct of this two CG floats, okay, for the X position and the Y position. So in this case, we have a CG point of the X is 56.4 and the Y is 23.5. Okay, so that is that we have a point. All right, and okay, you ask that why do we need those data structures? Well, later on when we use frame and bounce, okay, actually iOS actually in the frame and bounce it is also a struct, and inside that it has some of these data structures. Okay, it doesn't use simple like float or double. It uses those data structure of the coordinate system. That's why we'll need these data structures. Good question. Okay, all right, the next data structure we'll need is a CG size. Okay, let's think about it. We have a CG float is simply is the things like the metric system. Okay, and we have a CG point represents a point. Then we will need a size, the size of a view. Okay, a CG size is a struct with two CG floats, and it represents the width and height. So if we have a CG size, and actually I should put it var size, okay, is a CG size of the width is 56.4 and height is 23.5. And again, the 56.4 there is a CG float, okay, not a double float. It is a CG float. All right. And the next one is consist of a CG float and a CG size. That is a CG right. It represents a rectangle in the iOS system. Okay, it is a struct with a CG float and a CG size. It has the origin, which is the CG point. Okay, and it has the size. The size is a CG size. Okay, very, very simple stuff here. All right. Now let's talk about the frame. The frame, what is the frame of a UI view? Well, the frame is the size and the location of a view within its superview's coordinate system. So if you look at this graph over here, we have the superview as the view, the blank view with a blue border, okay? And the view we are talking about is the orange view. Okay, let me move that like this. Okay, we are talking about this orange view, and the super view of this is this super view. How about I can do this? I will increase the size of the pointer so you can see it even better. Okay, so now we are talking about this orange view. Okay, and the super views of the orange view is the view with the blue borders. Okay, and so what is the frame of the orange view or the orange view? Well, the frame is the size and the location. So bear with me. I am about to increase the size of the pointer. All right, the cursor size. Good. See that? Nice. So here we go. We are talking about this orange view, right? So this orange view, it has the frame of that is the size and the location within its superview's coordinate system. Why do I have to consistently tell you about that? Well, because the frame is different from the bounds. And with the frame, it cares about the position of that inside the superview. Okay, inside the superview, not let me inside the superview. Okay, so the size of this inside the superview is 150 and 150. Okay, that is the size of this orange view. All right, and the location of that, it cares about the location, the origin of this. Okay, so the origin is 200 and 180, and it is within the superview coordinate system. So the coordinate system of the superview is this view. Okay, so this is the 200, 180 inside the coordinate system of this view, and the size is 150 by 150. All right. So interesting things will happen when you change some of these properties of the frame of a view. Okay, things like you can animate those things. Okay, so what happened when you change some property inside the frame of the view? Well, how about we will change the origin of the view? Instead of 200, 180, we change it into 100 and 180. Okay, 180 means that we will move it up. It will move up the origin, so it move up the whole view within the super view. And in this case, we move into 190. Then we'll move from the left, from the right to the left. Okay, very simple. When we change the frame, then we just change in respect to the super view. Okay, so that is the frame. The frame is the size and the location of a view within its superview's coordinate system. Now, let's talk about the bounds. The bounds is the thing that I think most people will get confused with, and personally I am too. So the bounds is the size and the content origin of a view within its own coordinate system. All right, you see the distinction over there. Okay, let's go back to the previous slide. There we go. The frame is the size and the location of a view within its own superview. It's superview's coordinate system. But the bounds is different. The bounds is the size and the content location, the content origin or the location of a view within its own coordinate system. It doesn't care about the superview. It doesn't care about all the views within it or anything else outside of that. It cares about its own coordinate system. So in this case, this orange view, okay, the orange view, it has the size is 350 by 350. I believe that it is not the correct size, but who cares? Okay, just a demo. So the origin, the content origin in this case is 0, 0. Okay, number. Okay, it is 0, 0. So this is the origin within its own coordinate system. It doesn't care about the superview's coordinate system. Cool. Now inside this view, we also have, let's say we have this blue view, and the reason for that is we will change the bounds of this. Okay, it's still the same view. We'll change the bounds of this view and to see how it looks like. Okay, so we want to change the origin of this. Instead of 0, 0, we change it into 140 and 50. Okay, instead of 0, 0, we change it to 140 and 50. Okay, so when we do that, what does iOS do? Well, it will figure out what is the point 140 and 50. Okay, this is 140 and 50. It within its own coordinate system. Okay, all right. You have to bear in mind that it is within its own coordinate system, not in the superview. Its own coordinate system. Any view has its own coordinate system. So here we, oops, I just messed up. All right. So this is 140 by 50 points. Okay, again, we want to change from 0 to 0 to 140 by 50, like that. Okay, so the next thing is with those is that it will draws the size of this view like this. This is the same size. Okay. And then the last thing it does is it will draw starting from the position of the original origin. Okay, this used to be the 0, 0, right? But now it is the 140 by 50. The 0, 0 is up here. It will draw everything in this. So you imagine you have a sense that something's in this, something's of the this view over here. Okay, this view over here, it seems like it moves up. It seems like it moves up within the view. But the fact is that it doesn't move this. The fact is that regarding the numbers, regarding the coordinate system, okay, the origin of this blue view, it doesn't change at all. What change is the things that inside this orange view, it draws itself. Okay. When we change the bounds of a view, it draws itself starting from the origin. All right. So that is the bounds. It is the size and the content origin of a view within its own coordinate system. Now, I know that just when you just start out, it seems like confusing. So I prepared that start project for you. Okay. So I have a question. When and how would the width and height be different in the frame and bounds? Really good question. Well, when you change, where is that? Okay, so here is the size of a view, right? We have the size of this. So if we change the size of this inside the frame, which change the size of the frame, then we just change it like that. Okay, maybe just change like this somehow. Okay, just like that. But things were different when you change the bounds of you change the size of the bounds, okay? And we'll discover that in the upcoming demo. So when you download the demo, the Star project, you have something like this. Here we go. And inside this, we are doing one very simple thing. If you are familiar with scroll view, okay, we are dealing with scroll view. Then the idea behind scroll view is that a phone, it just has a 4.4 inch screen or 5.5 inch screen. Is very small, right? But there are things like the image is very large. Okay, let's say I'm storing a very large image in this one, so you want to scroll around. Okay, so the idea inside the scroll view is that it will changes the bounds of the scroll view. Okay, it changes the bounds of the scroll view. So here is the Star project. When I run this project over here, let me run the project. And again, this is live, so you will have to wait with me then. Okay, so here's our project looks like. Well, this image is within a scroll view. And where is that scroll view? The scroll view, the frame of the scroll view is entire the screen itself. Okay, and Xcode 7 has a really nice tool. That is, you can see the view hierarchy of this. So when I click into this view hierarchy, okay, then it will debug the view hierarchy. And when I click into this, it is an UI image view, right? You see that this is an UI image view, and beneath this UI image view is the scroll view, the UI scroll view. Okay, you see that the scroll view is just a very small thing like that. It covers the whole screen. Okay, this is the scroll view. This is UI image view, and this is the scroll view. Okay, the layer underneath that, and we'll put the image view, the big image view, as the content of the scroll view. Okay, so what happened beneath the cover? What happened when you oops, I have to do this. What happened when you scroll around like this? Well, that is the thing we can see. What happens underneath the cover? Scroll view changes the position of its bounds. Okay, how do you know about that? Well, a scroll view has a delegate method, UI scroll view delegates. Okay, and it has also a method called scroll view did scroll. Okay, we have a scroll view did scroll, and with that in mind, we can do something very cool over here. You see that we have a label over there, right? With this label, we can update continuously about the new origin of the bound of the scroll view. So let's do that. Here I will do let's bounds x. Okay, the origin x is scroll view dot bounds dot origin dot x, and have the let's bounds y equals scroll view dot bounds dot origin dot y. So that is the new x and y of the origin of the scroll view. And then I will change the text label dot text into scroll view bounds origin is bounds origin. Actually, it is bounds x. Okay, and then we have bounds y, like that. Okay, here I am using string interpolation and another one, so it looks another parenthesis, so it looks like a coordinate system, a point. Okay, and the next thing is I want to make this text label dot size to fit, so it fits the text of that. Okay, and looks what happened when I run the project now. Again, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to post it right down below. All right, so here we go. This is the scroll view, the bounds of the origin. Oops. Okay, so when we move up the image like this, you see that this bounds, the origin of the bounds, is changes, right? It changes. Okay, so what happens? It's just like our example in the slides. We do change from 00 to 140 into 50. Okay, so it seems like the content of this orange view, it moves up. Okay, but actually it doesn't move up. Actually, it's just, let's say I want it to change from this position to this position. I just do it like this. Actually, it's just draw this thing starting from, instead of starting from this one, it's starting to draw from this one. Okay, so it draw like this. And when you go to the view hierarchy like that, okay, this is the view hierarchy, and I was, oops, there we go. You see the big image. That is the big image. Okay, this image is really huge, but there is a little, okay, when I do it like this, there we go, this thin line over here, it is a scroll view. Okay, the scroll view is very, very small inside that. Okay, so now this one, it used to be the 00 origin of the scroll view, but now it is 355 by 384, and the 00 position is up here. Okay, so that's what happens when we change the bounds of the origin. All right, so I hope that you understand, you get the idea of what scroll views is all about, what bounds, the frame and the bounds in the UI view is all about. Okay, and this is just the starting of our talk about the frame and the frame and the bounds, because in the next code hangout, I am about to show you how to create something like this. This is also a big image view inside a scroll view, but the effect of this one is called image view controller. Okay, the effect of this one is very, very familiar to you. Okay, you can store a very big image inside a phone like this, and you can zoom it like that. Okay, but when you zoom it very small like this, you minimize the scale of the zoom like that, and when you release it, it will snap back to the position. It will snap back to your original position. Okay, there you go. It will snap back like this. Boom. And even cooler, when you rotate the device, it also make it right in the center, and you can zoom it or decrease the size and then snap back. Okay, that is what we're going to do in the next code hangout. And until then, I'll see you in the next code hangout. If you haven't subscribed to join us in the next code hangout, then when you download the star project with the link right down below, you can subscribe to join us in the next code hangout. And I'll see you then.